We are living at a time where we're witnessing the third monster wave in our lifetimes. The first one being the internet, the second one being the smartphone, the third one being AI. And each one of these waves, as we know, has actually disrupted industries, destroyed businesses, created new opportunity, created new roles and jobs, and people have to evolve every time. So if you look at your question, you asked about the vast talent pool in India, but what is relevant for India is actually relevant for every country, I would say. It doesn't matter if it's the US or the Middle East or Africa or Uganda. So we have to assume that AI is operating or bringing three fundamental changes. Number one, certain aspects of what humans used to do is getting automated. We have to accept that. We cannot fight that. So it's like learning to use a calculator instead of doing math on your brain, or learning to use a computer. We have to learn to use AI, number one. Number two is AI is actually an amplification of human potential. That's the true value of AI that we are going to see as this curiosity of AI pans out. We are going to see every human being being able to amplify their potential, because the routine, mundane tasks are going to be done by the AI, and humans are going to move on to more value-added, higher emotional connect-based tasks. And I'm saying this as the leader of a customer service organization, where we all know that customer service is the number one industry that's getting disrupted by AI. So a lot of customer service queries are now being automated by AI, where we are delivering software for agents to be able to perform higher order tasks and focus on higher order value, managing relationships with their customers. So the third one is insights. Like, as leaders, as human beings, we are going to start seeing real-time insights. See, today, if you look at most governments, most enterprises, most organizations, we actually operate on a quarterly rhythm. Right? So we actually wait for the quarter to get over, and you have the charts and the graphs to come. People give you the financial results and say, okay, this is how we did. AI is going to change all of that, where insights will be delivered to leaders on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. So this requires a huge change in the way we work, and all three of this is going to play. And how can we, like you asked about, are we seeing any models that work? I think fundamentally, as leaders of organization, I'm sure we have two great HR leaders here, it all boils down to creating a learning mindset in our people, where we don't look at AI and be scared. Like so many other things that came and went in technology, we just need to make sure that we create a culture of learning. We create a mindset where people are able to embrace AI. And governments also have a role to play in terms of enabling rapid reskilling. This is the one thing that's different this time is the speed at which it's happening and the breadth across which it's happening. That's why I think governments, organizations, and academies or universities needs to come together to really, really create this sustainable reskilling in a faster manner.
So, Tanuj, you, in your book, The Skills-Powered Organization, you organize for skills rather than fixed work roles. And as you've implemented this vision at Standard Chartered across so many different markets, what surprised you about how AI is accelerating or complicating this transition and transformation? And when you look at the data, which approach do you think works when it comes to implementing skills-based roles versus fixed work roles?
So can I first say, I mean, we hadn't sort of spent a lot of time with each other, but I will build on some stuff that Girish said. The first thing is the human-AI collaboration is going to be the next big transformational work pattern. And the ability for everyone, not just your technologists, to work intuitively and iteratively, because they're both important. You've got to do it intuitively and iteratively with AI, is going to really be where workplaces need to evolve their workforces to. I mean, I keep saying this to, we've got 100,000 colleagues. in our firm across 59 markets, I keep saying it's not that humans will lose jobs to machines. Humans will lose jobs to people who are working with the machine. So how do you work intuitively with technology? So for me, there is a massive revolution that's happening across industries. You know, financial services is my main job, but I sit on the board of a big retail business. I sit on the board of UK's healthcare system, and the conversations are exactly the same. The power of technology, so technology is the challenge, but it's also the opportunity. And what technology is able to do inside workplaces is democratize access and hyper-personalized experiences. So we've been doing learning and development for years. What we are now able to do, leveraging AI, is be able to democratize access to content. So, you know, like our colleagues are consuming content in their personal life, they can actually consume learning in the same way, just in time, in the flow of work. And the other thing that AI and technology is able to do is to hyper-personalize experiences. So the way I experience learning is very different to the way Girish experiences learning, and that wasn't possible if you go down a few years ago. So to me, technology is a big disruptor, but I believe AI has got massive opportunity to level playing field inside organization. The only other point I will make, and something you touched on, Hugh, a lot of focus on reskilling in technology has focused on technical skills. So everyone talks about, you know, we are giving coding skills to everyone, or we are doing digital or data skills. While technical skills are important, it's actually human skills. And, you know, I speak about it quite a lot in the book, which are incredibly important. Because if you talk about what is it that humans do well, they work with technology. So it's human skills like curiosity, like learning agility, like logical thinking, like thinking about leadership in a new way, thinking about ethics, privacy, risk in a new way. So one of the things that we are doing at scale is not just the focus on technical skills, but the focus on human and enabling skills, which will help our colleagues leverage the power of this technology.
And once you train your employees, you want to keep them. So Thierry, you've led major transformations in human capital development and retention during your time at Airbus. And there's been a big change in the aerospace industry at the same time. So what leadership practices have you cultivated at Airbus when it comes to creating a culture and a brand that employees want to be a part of? And how does that help you thrive when there is significant industry disruption?
Thank you for the question, and good morning, everyone. The first thing is to just have a dream. And this is a dream of always visiting sky, and sky has no limits. And the aerospace sector is really a sector which is always in movement, and where we are always transforming and preparing the future. And of course, sustainability is one element which is absolutely key for the future of aviation. And somewhere we try to have a brand which is based on that dream, because it's still a human being adventure. And I must say, Airbus is extremely attractive. And after the pandemic, we were absolutely fearing of losing such an attractiveness. And finally, we are even more attractive today when I look at the number of people who would like to join Airbus, in fact. And then when they are on board, you need to keep them, of course. It's a huge investment because our skills are the essence of what we do. And it's all about safety. If you enter a plane of Airbus, I'm sure you do expect to have a safe journey. And that's really the beginning. And to have such a safety approach, it means having skills which are at the highest level. We are in the high-tech sector, and it means a lot to us. So we are we are investing a lot on our people. We are asking our leaders to be extremely human being centric, because it's all about technology, it's all about human beings. And all leaders are following what we call our leadership model in terms of impact, and they are putting the people in the middle of everything. And so we have to be extremely dynamic. We have to propose regularly to the people to move from one position to another, to learn. It's constant learning. It's a lot of learning experiences. It's a lot of learning for leaders. We have a leadership university which is always full of people. And at the end, when I look at the retention, our level of attrition, so the turnover, is extremely low. So I try to make somewhere a correspondence between what we do and the fact that the people stay. Because worldwide, we are at 4% in terms of attrition. So it's extremely low when you think about worldwide. And in Europe, we are even below 2%. So that's just incredible. And for us, it's good because somewhere the investment we make in the skills is for the long time, and we can benefit from that.
Just to wrap up, if you had one big thing that you would recommend to organizations to nurture resilient talent and promote it within the organization, what would be your one tip or one bit of advice?
It's really think people. And especially with what you have just been saying in terms of evolution of AI and technologies, we have to continue to put the people in the middle of everything. And for us, it's augmented human beings. It's not replacing human beings. And there is something in the emotional intelligence where personally, I don't think the technology will be able to develop as us. I hope so. So let's see the future, but think people, invest on people, do your best with the people, because this is just the essence of building business at the end. It's all about people.
I mean, I would say curiosity is a very underrated leadership skill, and learning how to learn is going to become the biggest skill that all of us in this room and in the companies we represent are going to need to be able to cope with the way the world is changing. And learning how to learn is something that we need to talk about much more, and a very strong sort of focus on curiosity.
See, my philosophy towards this has always been that every organization has to create an employee value proposition that's something that's not about money, right? And what I've believed in is, see, when I look at it from an employee standpoint, a career is like a tripod. It's like a golden tripod. And the three legs of the tripod are, one, the knowledge that the employee learns on the job. Two, the second leg is the challenges and responsibilities that they actually solve. And three is the compensation that they earn. A well-balanced career growth is where all the three legs of the tripod actually grow over the years. If somebody's just jumping jobs and only salary is growing, then it's not a very balanced one. So as long as an organization can provide all three, like continuous knowledge and learning, enough challenges and responsibilities, and competitive pay, I think that would be the best way to retain great talent.